Hola everyone and welcome to Play It Like Dimebag. This video series is about Dimebag solos. There's just so many little nuances and details which I think are very important to achieve the right sound and the right feel. So it's not just about the right notes, but how to play them right. So let's continue this ride with the solo of Hollow off of the Vulgar Display of Power album. So we're in the 5th position, and you gotta bend up the 8th fret on the B string. Approximately a whole note. It's a little below that, so it's a little flat, intentionally of course. And then, after you bend it up, you release it back to the 8th, and then pull off to the 5th, and then pick the 8th again. Together. When you come back to the 8th fret on the B string, there's a little bit of a vibrato there. Rhythmically, it's a bit rushy, so you don't wanna... But instead, just rush the bend and the release part a little bit. It's a feel thing, but if you use your ear, you will know what I'm talking about. And then the second time, you keep that bend up a little bit, so then it gets just a little longer. And then you go down to the G string, 8th fret, with a downstroke, and then an upstroke back to the 5th on the B string. Together. Also, another thing worth to mention is that both the times there's some ghost notes adding. So it's not just... But instead... You start with the down and an upstroke on the G string, 8th fret, it's a down, and then the 7th, it's an upstroke, and then pull off to the 5th, and then come back with a legato, 7, 8, so it's down, up, pull off, legato, and then the string skipping, go up to the E5 with an upstroke, and then the B8, and a pull off to the 5th. So together so far. Just practice that first. And after that pull off from the 8th to the 5th, you go further down to the G8th with a downstroke, and then go back to the 5th on the B string with an upstroke. So together so far. So right after the 5th with an upstroke, you go back to the G8 with the downstroke, and then an upstroke on the 7th, and then pull off to the 5th. So far together. Then you go down to the 7th fret on the D string with the downstroke, and then go back to the G5 with an upstroke, and then a downstroke on the 7th, and then legato to the 8th, hammer on, pull off back to the 7th, and pull off to the 5th. And then the last part is a downstroke on the D7, and back to the G5, and D7 again. I switch fingers here, because there's a quick bend up and a release. Of course you can play the entire lick with a pinky if it's more comfortable for you like that. I switch fingers there, but it's personal reference. So together, slowly. And now what makes it really tricky is that it kind of starts slow, like everything is pushed back a little bit, and then along the way it gets faster and ends up on the perfect spot. So right after you coming back from the B string to the G string, then it kind of speeds up. But before that, it's slower than it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. We ended up in the 4th bar with that lick. and we keep continue from that bar. The next note is the 5th on the D string, which you pick with an upstroke, and then a downstroke on the A7th, and then go back to the 5th with the same finger. To me it's a ring finger with an upstroke to the 5th. Together. And also you have to bend that 5th up on the A string pretty much the same way like we did on the 7th before on the D string. So it's a quick bend up and a release. And then after that you pull off to the 3rd fret, let that ring and bend it up at the end. That is what is so-called Texan bending. At least Dime used to call it like that. Pick a certain note, let it ring for a while, and right before you would play something else, either a rest or another note, you just bend it up. That's and you cannot hear the release there. That's the cool part about it. Now we're in the 17th position. Put the ring finger on the G19th and the pinky on the B20th. And we're gonna start bend up the G string using a downstroke, and then after the second pick, B string with an upstroke twice. But also make sure that the G string is ringing all along. And then another downstroke on both strings, and just release the bending a little bit, pick it again and bend back up. And also there's a vibrato there. And then from now on, it's one string. You start on the 20th of the B string, and then right after the 20th, you pick the 19th on the G string and bend that up. And then bend back up again a whole note. Together so far? And also heavy vibrato at the end. And then the last part is very cool. A whole note up. It's a little bit of a slower bend up. So it's not... But... So just go behind a little bit. Play it with a bluesy, a dime attitude, if you will. There's a story again. You start somewhere, start slow, and then just go wider. But also when you release the 20th, before you would pick the note, you just make sure that you touch the strings with the pick, and that gives an extra noise and dirt to it, which make it sound really badass. This is the one. That's the pick scrape noise that you generate. For example, Cemetery Gates, when there's that chromatic part, that's the extra information there that you put in by using an upstroke, and just before you would pick, you also scrape the strings a little bit. Make it stop on the string. When there's that new part coming in, the song, there's several layers of guitar making those high-pitched noise. And one of them is actually a multi-bending that starts from the same place where we ended up. And you also pick the 20th on the G string, which now is being bent up a little bit. So the two together makes this sound. And then you drop that one. Big shout out to Michael, who is a patron of mine, and he was the one who reminded me, because in the video I actually played natural harmonics over the 5th. Yeah. That was it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson and hopefully even learned something from it. And if you have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I'm uploading videos every week. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, all links below. I also have a Patreon site on which I share lots of exclusive contents and backing tracks, tablatures, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check that out, just make sure that you click on the link below, and I'll see you next time. Have a lovely day and be safe. Ciao. So we're still in the same bar, but from now, so we're still in the same bar. Let this ring for about so we're still in the same, so we're still in the 4th bar. So we're still